Everybody on YouTube. This is the first time I've ever done a review video. I'm one of those guys that when I'm looking at a new rifle, new product, I like to do some research, find customer reviews, people that have personally owned the product to give the positive and negatives, their personal take on things. I was in the market for a new rifle. Been searching around, nothing too expensive. I came across the Mossberg Patriot Night Train model. It's a new rifle to me. I've never had one before. I'm usually a Remington guy or a Savage. But for the price point, figured I'd try it out. So I wanted to give everyone my take of it. I'm not a professional, but I have, done my own gunsmithing and done a lot of shooting, a lot of trigger time. Basically, I want to let everybody know what I think of this rifle. Now, out of the box, it's pretty sweet setup. It's got a nice fluted barrel, nice muzzle brake. I brought it to the range, shot it. This one's chambered in a 300 Win Mag. The muzzle brake on this works fantastic. That's one positive I gotta say. Basically kicks, I wouldn't say more than a 308. I shot 40 rounds consecutive out of this and had zero shoulder pain. Move my way back here. It's got the OD green stock. It's got an oversized bolt knob. The rings that came on it, they're a bit high. These are see-through rings. It doesn't have steel sights, so I'm not really sure why they put rings that tall on it, but nothing I can't change. Basically, it's got a cheekerizer, it's neoprene, comes with inserts. My biggest gripe about this rifle is I had called the factory originally and asked them how the gun was bedded, because there's nothing specifically on the website that informs the buyer of how the gun's been bedded. If it's got pillar beds, aluminum block, anything. And I was informed that the rifle stock is an overmolded stock, that it doesn't have pillar or aluminum, but it was able to do a 1/2 inch to 3/4 grouping, which I find a bit impossible for a gun with such a cheap stock, but I figured I'd try it anyway. Well, I brought it to the range. I put, like I said, 40 rounds through it. The first 10 did pretty good. I was starting to sight in, starting to get it where I was aiming at. I had it out to 100 yards. I had 2 bullet holes that were really nice, side by side. And then it fell from there. Basically, my groupings opened up to about 8 to 10 inches. I'm not a professional marksman, but I've had, Remington SPS tacticals that I was able to put 2 shots inside of a quarter at 400 yards. So I know if it's the gun or if it's me. And in this case, it's the gun. I figured something loosened up because it did start to pull half decent groupings. I got it home and I checked everything with the scope, the base. I had torqued everything spec. I used blue Loctite on it. Nothing was loose, so I had a feeling it had something to do with the bedding job originally that I was afraid of. Basically, I took the action out of the stock and I had 2 little plastic pieces fall out. Well, basically, in front of your recoil lug, they have these tiny little plastic pieces to stop it. And that's not very adequate, especially for a 300 Win Mag. Basically, it loosened up. It was moving inside the stock. It wasn't going to get consistent shots. So I called the manufacturer. They sent me postal ticket, so I sent it back to them down in Texas. They basically gave me the runaround. It was going to take 7 to 10 days just for the shipping for me to get it back. It was going to take multiple weeks for me to for the gunsmith to even go through it. That was going to be probably 3 weeks to a month. And I bought this rifle for hunting season, so I wasn't really looking to wait that long. So I called and hounded them. So they basically said, well, we got your rifle in a new stock, and, you know, we're going to send it back out to you. You know, they were generous with the shipping, you know, because I took a $70 loss in ammo to try to sight this rifle in. Basically, they sent it back, and before I even started to put my rings on it or even waste my time to go to the range, I took it apart, and lo and behold, same spots were broken. Now, I have the work orders and everything to prove to you guys that I sent this rifle in. I can give you names and personal phone numbers if you really don't believe me, but I have nothing to gain out of this. I'm just one of those guys where if you know, I'm looking to buy a product. You know, I spent almost $800 on this rifle, and I expect something in return. Now, I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull this apart. This is just the way I got it. Like I said, I haven't shot any rounds out of it since I got it. I just got it back today. Basically going to show you how they bed and how these guns are set up. They're not very good quality. Like I said, I'm not a gunsmith, but I've built some rifles in my time and then shot a lot better than this. Actually, if you want a decent shooting rifle for the price, go with a Savage Axis. Without a bedding job, you can make that gun shoot sub-MOA all day long with cheap Federal ammo. You don't even need hand loads. So let me get the screw out here and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Basically, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but right here in front of, this is the backing spot. These little plastic pieces right here, you can see this one and this one. Those are both broken. And this is supposedly the new stock. And I really don't like this. Your mag well comes out. And check out this screw hole. That's your back action screw. It's basically, you see that? It doesn't even have a complete wall. So, you got this cheap plastic bedding block for your mag well that moves around. And then you have a recoil lug that absolutely has no bracing. So, I mean, I've always looked at it, like, I don't know a lot about it, but I've always looked at it, whenever force comes back, there's got to be some sort of force that comes back forward, you know? It's only physics. And basically what they have for stock is garbage. So basically, I already know that this rifle at the range is probably going to be terrible. I like a lot of the things about it, the adjustable trigger. It kind of looks like it has a 20 MOA solid base on it from factory, so that's kind of good, I guess. It's got the oversized bolt knob, which is really, it works great. Adjustable trigger, the fluted barrel. I'd say the heat dispersion is pretty good. I've had, you know, the lighter sporting barrels before that didn't have it in 300 Win Mag, and about after, you know, 5 rounds you couldn't even touch it. This one, the first 10 rounds, it was lukewarm, if that. So that was great. I think the bare bones of the rifle has the ability to be decent. It actually comes with a UTG scope. They don't have that listed anywhere. It's a UTG Leapers or something like that. It's a 6x24 illuminating. Yeah, I can't really say if it's any good because, like I said, the gun fell apart before I could even start to get it adjusted. So, didn't really matter. The clicks seem really well. The clicks are audible. They seem pretty precise. You know, I think the rifle has the ability to be decent, but I'm going to find out for myself. I'm going to bet it. I don't know if I'm going to bother getting my money back because I kind of like the muzzle brake and everything that it has. I think I make this rifle a lot better. If you have any comments, questions, just let leave me a message.